And you would just save some money here because of the snow. There was not too much snow. You appropriated so much money for the snow. It didn't snow, so you get that money. What are you going to do with it?
So, well, we actually have this summer a special program going on for homeowners who can't afford to fix up their homes. So our code department goes out and finds out, Mrs. Smith's porch is falling down. Mrs. Smith could be 72 years old, has no money to fix her porch, but it's a danger to her that porch is broken. So we actually are working with this group, this Christian organization called Work Camps International. It's a group of that goes around the country.
Volunteers,
Volunteers. They're actually all kids. They're all students. They're all under 18.
But the money it's going to use for parts.
Yeah, so the money so we have to pay, we're responsible
Wood,
for paying
cement,
for all the supplies.
Supplies.
In partnership with the Norristown Area School District, the students would be staying at the high school
the
during
tech
the time
school?
they're there. The tech school is not involved. So these kids come in from elsewhere in the country. They bid on these jobs. They pay money to come to other places to fix people's homes. It's actually a wonderful program.
Sounds unique.
All these kids are actually trained in the construction trade, so they bring their own tools, their own know-how. We supply things like ladders and stuff. Obviously, they can't put those on planes, but and then we supply the
fire
supplies.
company to get the ladders up there.
So
right?
we're also working with the union trades to bring in equipment that they can't obviously bring themselves, and have vehicles to move them around.
When Mother Teresa visited Norristown and set up the shelter here in Norristown, Missionary of Charities, they took over the convent where the nuns naturally all moved out to Bishop Kenrick, and that place was falling apart. The convent had about 14 layers of wallpaper, and the plumbing was bad, the roof and everything. And I got in touch with the building and trades, and they come down there and they worked, and oh my God, they fixed it up, really good. And so there was a volunteer, the plumbing and all, the plumbing department,
And we still have that kind of work. And so, for example, last summer, the building and trades groups fixed up the Little League shack and their snack shack down in Norristown Little League, because that was falling apart. They fixed their utility shed, and then we had a local electrical contractor actually redid some rewiring at the Carver Center so that kids wouldn't get electrocuted when they went in the pool. It was actually a really dangerous situation. So they stepped in.
Electricians Union.
Yeah, they stepped in and did that work for free, and that's, again, people in the community who either are from Norristown or live in Norristown who give back to the community. And that's one of the things we want to see more of, because we really need that kind of help.
Right. All right, you're not from Norristown. I wasn't born and raised in Norristown, right? What are some of the things that stand out in Norristown that you think that we should be proud of?
Well, Norristown it's got a great history. And there are still families here who've been here for 3 generations. And that's something to be proud of, that you have that continual history, people who want to stay in Norristown who love it so much. The architecture of Norristown, all these buildings that we have here are really, and what is somebody's passion is somebody's headache, because it's all historical. So we have certain rules about what you can do. No pink stucco on the brick houses is what we say. So, and when other people come to Norristown, they really get a sense of that. This is an old town. Right. There's a lot of history here. We should be proud of that and be supporting that as much as we can. And then also coming together as a community. It's interesting in Norristown as opposed to some other places. People say, "Oh, where do the Irish live, or where do the Italians live?" Well, we're all mixed up, and that's why I say
we were pretty well segregated, Down on Moore Street was all Italian, Marshall Street.
You see some vestiges, but really, I think in this day and age, one of the great things is people feel comfortable no matter what neighborhood they live in, and that's one of the things that attracts me. You have all kinds of people living next to you.
I lived on Chestnut Street between Swede and DeKalb. And a lady called me and asked me if I lived there in 1930. And I said, yeah. She was writing something about it. And she wrote about it in 1930 on Chestnut Street. And she went to the courthouse and got the names of the people. They were Irish, German, Italian, it was all. Right. And in that one block between the Calvin Suite, there were 6 police officers lived there.
That's
and I lived across the street from 3 of them,
Yeah, and Hank, it's a little bit different for our police force in this day and age. It's a little bit more challenging for our police force than when you were on the force. While we would love to have our police officers live in town, it's a little bit challenging for them
Right.
to live in this. For those who do, I applaud them, but it's, it's some people love you and some people hate you. So the police have a
tell me
very
about it.
difficult job balancing
Right.
those attitudes.
Right. I don't, watch that guy that's patting you on the back. He's looking for a soft spot to stick the knife in. That's the way I feel. That's
Well-
a little Sicilian trick, So, Gordon Glantz called me and asked me, he wants to interview me back in 1952 or
Right.
51 when I started in Norristown Police Department.
Right.
Tell me, what it was all about. And I'm looking forward to that because the policemen today would say, "Oh, Hank, they're the old times, we got this, got it." Let me tell you, we covered the town. We had to live in Norristown,
Right.
okay?
Right.
And when I started as a policeman, they gave me no education. The only thing I had an 8th grade education.
Right.
Okay? That's all you needed. I got the code book to show you, right? And I started with $2,300 a year, and we had to pay 20% of our uniform. They
Right.
give me a gun, which they didn't show me how to shoot. Good thing I knew how to shoot because I used to go hunting. A badge, a nightstick, a bully jack, and a badge, and a
Right.
whistle.
Right.
And put me out in the street
Yep.
to look for a purse snatcher along DeKalb Street.
Right.
Lucky I didn't kill a guy if I didn't know.
Yeah, as you know, it's very different now. Police training, the professionalism.
My grandson is a policeman in West Norton, and he tells
Right.
me the benefits they have, which is good. Thank God, good. They're doing a good job.
Right. Right.
But
But
I
it's
look
also a
back
lot of
myself,
training.
how'd I
Yeah.
bring up my family?
And
4
it's-
children.
Yeah, and so it's a different era in many ways that we require, a certain level of training for every police officer. Actually, it's state mandated. They all have to go through training courses. And then it's a little more challenging. There's a lot of technology they use now.
yeah. Oh,
For
yeah.
identifying where criminals are and so forth.
tape.
And yeah, and then they. One of the things that we'd like to see more is more the community policing aspect of
I think
Norristown.
that's-
We have officers who sort of walk a beat on Marshall Street, one of our commercial districts.
Marshall and
We
Main
also
Street.
have bicycle patrol police officers, which are really good because that way, that being able to interact with the community on a more human level as opposed to sitting in a police car is very good. We would love to do more of that, but obviously budgetary constraints make it challenging for us to take a police officer out of a car and have them walking a beat. That means they can't respond to something else elsewhere. Our police officers respond to the entire community, not just within a specific region. So if we need a couple of patrol cars in one area and they're up in the east, let's say they need them in the west end, they're up in the east end, they need to be in their patrol
Well,
cars. So
Well, I remember Frank Rizzo, if he had a problem, he assigned a guy there.
yeah,
And he would cover it like the dew. And he told the gang who were hanging out there, he says, "Look, I'm going to put my wristwatch on that curb, and when I come back tomorrow morning, it better be there." I mean,
yeah,
he was able, showing. And I remember Sergeant Burns. The guys didn't have no high school education or anything, or policemen, But I would go in the diner. They had the Circle Diner, was on Lafayette Street there. And I was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd sit down when I have some eggs or something. I'd take my hat off, put it over there. And he'd come in and tell me, "You put that hat on." He says, "Because that hat is a symbol of authority. And if somebody's looking for a police officer, they see it. You stand out. They want you, that's why you wear a uniform, to stand
Right,
out,
right.
Okay, But now I see these guys, they don't want to wear no hats. Either they shave it or they got a permanent wave, They want to mess their hair.
when they start losing the hair, they
I
start
kid
shaving
them,
it.
about that.
But I think one of the things that I want to say that the Norristown Police Department does an excellent job.
Oh,
We just gave accommodations to officers on Tuesday night for catching a person who had been involved in a number of robberies and shootings, and which from the detective division, our forensic division, all of our patrol officers, and then our higher staff, just a phenomenal job. They're all professionally trained.
Right.
They know what they're doing. It's probably one of the safest police forces in the area in terms of controlling situations, being very professional, and often they get complaints from people, but they don't get
Naturally.
kudos. And when
Everybody's
you
going to complain, the old story, all sunshine makes deserts.
Right.
You can't have, you got to have the rain and the snow and the hail and everything to have a beautiful garden.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah. And as you know, Russell Brono, who had been our,
I was with him last night. He's happy.
A long, yeah, I'm
he's
sure
gonna
he's
go to
retired.
Italy. He's going to
Yeah,
go to Italy
very
for
good.
taking his wife for.
He deserves it. I mean, he had been a phenomenal police chief for our department for a long time. As you know, lifelong career police officer in Norristown,
Right.
40 plus years.
I was a police officer in charge of safety and safety patrols, and he was one of my safety, the Holy Savior.
Right.
He'd stand in the corner, and we had to teach all the kids that we go in there and talk, and he would stand there, put the badge with Keystone. Never cross when the light is red, the light is red, the light is red. Always cross when the light is green. And then we go into parochial school, and we go like this, all right, put your over the nice little halo. Always do what the sister says. You know?
Yeah.
So there were little things that now I come up, I see some of these people are pushing the baby going, oh, Sergeant Cisco, I remember that song, Never Cross, you know.
Right.
So it's good, you know.
Yeah.
And Bono has really followed through. Now I see Rashid is holding on until we get somebody.
You know, exactly. And we're also lucky that Captain Rashid, now our chief, have decided to step into that role in interim while we do our search. Doing the search for the police chief is a very serious, you know, it's that and the municipal manager job, which we're also doing the search for, the two most key pieces of the Norristown municipality. And those two people have to work hand in glove to make sure that we are able to handle what's going on in Norristown. You know, you talk about what else Norristown needs. I really love to have residents do more.
I want to say one thing, that you are a councilwoman now and you're running for office again.
Right, yes,
Okay,
so I'm
I
up for
say
re-election.
to my viewers, that you are well qualified, your education, your experience, and I wish you all the luck in the world and your this election coming up.
Right, so,
So you're the type of person that we want in council.
Well, I appreciate that,
So-
Hank. It's, you know, I'm running again because I think I can do more for Norristown residents, and not just in my district. I mean, code is throughout the Norristown. You know, we need to find ways to save money so that we can put more of that to the police department. We need to find ways to make more money, not on the taxpayer.
You have an education on finances and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, so I have a business background in addition to a science background, and I know how to work in
And you
in
can
large
public relations, you can write a letter, right?
I can do writing a lot. I write a lot of letters for you too. I
All right, you go, okay. All right, I'll come to you when I need a letter.
Okay, not a
All
problem.
right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home. And, you know, it's really good to know that we have a council person in there is looking out to save money to improve the community. We have a good town. We are the county seat. And I'm sure she has the education to be able to reach out, the county, the state, the federal, getting money to come here and help us. We are the county seat, and we are proud. So, Allah salud. Let's say over here, to your health.
To your
Allah
health.
salud, right?
Salute.
And thanks a lot. And I want to, you know what, Lawrence Welks closes the show, and keep a song in your heart. Cisco says, check with your heart doctor. Never know, right? So keep bobbing and weaving. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, and grazie. Okay.
Thank you,
Right,
Hank.
thank you.